friend of yours? Mine's a red button.
Sam Grace Spencer. Alright, first thing this morning, if you did not turn in the homework 130, this would be your last chance to get full points on it. There's a circuit over product rule, quotient rule, and chain rule. So, if you forgot to turn that in, put your name on it and come give me your hard copy. Guess we can talk about the rest of the bell work after the mini quiz. So, go ahead, clear your desk, or put your stuff to the side at least for the mini quiz. You've got your stuff put away. I don't know which customer.
Can I go ahead and turn this on?
Yes. I think it was for Okay, everybody got it? Okay, please go ahead and start. So, got all the option choices on the top. They are in order that the study sheet was in order, if that means anything or helps you organize the information. But down on the bottom, 6 questions, they're just matching, each one's half a point. And no answer should be used more than once. So if you think one of these has an answer of L, you should not use L again. And if you want to just turn it face down as you finish, I'll come and pick it up from you. And while you wait, if you would go ahead and start reading through the bell work and the agenda for today so you can see what's coming up. Okay, I think everyone's finished. So, the next thing I need y'all to worry about is, so the end of the week for that Delta Math test ended right before class started, so it should have opened up corrections for you. But there's a part of it that some of you have not followed through yet, and so you're going to have to do more corrections than other people if you don't fix this. I need you to do it right now if you haven't done it. But you have to turn in your work that matches those answers into Google Classroom. If you don't turn in the work, then you're going to have to do corrections on those questions. That's why I told you to make sure that you kept up with that. So if you don't know if you turned in the work to the Delta Math into Google Classroom, you should double check. Once I correct it, I can't unfix it. You'll just have to do all the corrections if that's the case. So while you're double checking that, because again, I don't want you to do more than you have to or than you're supposed to, but I can only work with what y'all are showing me. So the corrections will open up, and again, it's same question types, but you've got to get 3 of that question type right to get the points back. So whatever question type number 1 was on the Delta Math, if you miss that one, you can get, if you can do learn from your mistake and do 3 of that type, you can get those points back. And so in theory, you could make a 0 on the first part and still make 100 on the test. You're welcome to do the corrections as many times, but I do have to reset them. So let's say you missed 4 questions, and then within the corrections you get 2 of the 4 right. If you want to give it another shot to get the other 2 right, you have to tell me to click a button. So I'm happy to do that. And in fact, you have all the way until basically the AP exam to finish that. I mean, the sooner the better, but I would say for seniors, you know, your grades are due, I think, before then, so I can't have you doing it the day that grades are due. So for seniors, yours would be due the day before grades are due, but otherwise, I don't really care as long as you, whatever's in there by the day of the AP exam, that's what will go in the grade book, and then it'll stick. Okay. Is there other questions about the test corrections? Yeah.
So did you want us to turn in our work to the quiz or to the test corrections?
You'll need to turn in your work for both, but you haven't done the test corrections yet.
Okay. And also...
And you need to turn it in right now before I look at it and reset it. If you had 9 out of 10 questions right, but you don't have your work turned in, again, I'm about to go tell it that you got none of the questions right, because you had to have the work behind it. That's why I said you'll need to make sure you have it in. I'm not trying to make you do more, but that's part of the take-home test, is you had to turn in your work with it. Okay, or the hard copy's fine too. Okay. That's not each one of them, but- Thank you.
I don't have my work with me, so can I just rework all of them?
Okay. So again, I think it's a mistake to just keep kicking that can down the road, but other than time for me to get in senior grades, and really the only other red line I have is AP test day. I have no interest in you guys making this up and trying them after the AP exam, but otherwise I'm completely flexible on that part. Okay, any other questions about the last test or corrections? Yeah.
I have my work at home.
Okay.
Forgot to put in my binder.
Okay. Then you need to turn it in tonight. Email me, and I'll wait to reset your corrections. You just won't get to start your corrections until I get that. So. Okay. So before, I don't have a ton of questions for you guys to work through today, but I've got a handful of loose announcements and information. So I didn't say this before class, so just to make sure it's completely fair to you, if there was anything that you did that was incomplete, but you went back and finished it, anything that you didn't turn in on time, but you went and did it before this test was due, today's basically the test day, you can still get late credit for those points, but I need to have that here at the start of class. So not later in the period, not later today, anything else. That's what I told you all about last time I saw you. So if you have something to give me, make sure your name's on it and come turn it in. Okay, so as far as assessments go, we've got a couple more mini quizzes to go, and then the Delta Math test corrections. Those of you that made 100 on the Delta Math, I will start putting that in gradebook already, so that reflects on your grade. But there is going to be another mini quiz next class, so this is going to be over just like today's, but page 2. And again, you might consider page 2 to be different than my page 2. So make sure that you read up there the front and back of the one that has related rates Pythagorean problems in the top left. So it'll be matching also, not trying to trick you, not trying to pick out the hardest questions or anything. I'm trying to make sure that you look that over and either know them or review them so that you know them. All of that stuff should be on the AP exam. So if I was you, I would mark that up. Okay, I want to take a couple minutes, just very, very quickly, about 2 minutes, and go over this leading up to the AP exam that we talked about last class. Again, each time we look at this, I'm just not going to talk about it very long, but I feel like all this information is important. So, cutoff scores, these seem like random years, but these are just the most recent ones that they have shared with us. They don't tell us every year what the cutoff score is. So, anywhere from 34 points to 45 points to get a 3. It's a scaling score. So, they're going to grade the raw scores based on the average raw score. If it's a high average raw score, they're going to consider it to be an easier test, and you need more points to pass. So that's probably what happened in 2022. They expected it to be, it seemed easier based on the average, so they expected more to pass. Whereas if it's a harder test, you need less points to pass. That's a theme that's going to come up in the next couple slides, because no matter if you get a test, if your AP test seems easier than maybe the mock exam, or easier than you expected, or harder than the mock exam, or harder than you expected, really the only thing is you have to still stick with it and try your best. Because a couple points one year could pass, whereas a different year it could be not pass. So I don't want you to get missed out on that. Okay, pass rate for FHS down the left side, and I don't have breakdowns of 1, 2, 3s, 4s, and 5s of those. I only have that for my classes that I've taught, which is over there to the right. If that means anything to you. I guess what I would take out of this is it's not an automatic. You're all good students, you're all good at math, but if you don't try, especially on the day of the AP exam, and if you don't put in some effort, you should not expect to just automatically pass. Here's the breakdown for worldwide. Pretty close. The percentages for 1, 2, 3s, 4s, and 5s is pretty much the same. And that's because they changed the cut score accordingly. Workshop I did a couple years ago. Here's some of the things that they talked about. I'll let you read them, but the first two I'll read out loud. Because, again, this is a couple years old since I did this workshop, and it was about the year before that, but it's probably pretty relevant year to year. Half of the people that got 2 scores that year could have gotten a 3 if they had only scored 3 more points. And that year, people that had a 2 only needed 11 more points to get up to a 4. So 11 points is less than 10 multiple choice questions. So, okay, we're going to focus more on FRQs in our last few days, but there's 2 that this guy said always show up on the AP exam. There's actually 6 that show up often, but he claims, and again, there's no guarantee because they're always welcome to change things, but he always said that these 2 will always be on there. The other 4 are likely to be on there. All of that's on the top of our class website. Remember, I had that link that shows you those 6 types and all the ones you could practice and the average score and all that kind of stuff. Okay, last year's group on passing the AP exam. These are the reasons they came up with on why you'd want to pass. I emphasized the first one. Even if you think that you have decided on a career that doesn't need calculus, at the very least, calculus credit can count as an elective. So even if you want to be a history major, passing this exam could get you Cal 1 credit, which would just be, you could still count it as an elective. So at this point, since you've already done the time and done the work, I think you're crazy not to do that. Because whatever class you take is one more class of having to go to class and having to do the homework and having to study for tests and having to pay for the tuition hours. So, okay, and then finally, survey results from last year's group. So this is what they said about how they felt they would do on the AP exam before the school year started. So before they learned calculus, just how they thought they would do on the AP by the end of the year. And then on bottom, how they felt right before the AP exam. So it looks a little more confident to me. Now that goes up on bottom, how they felt right after the exam. So pretty similar, but it looks like they felt a little bit better about the exam after than right before. And then on the bottom, how they actually scored. And again, there's a discrepancy in numbers there because I didn't poll my seniors because the seniors had already left, but pretty close to what they expected. Okay, I just feel like all of that is valuable information. That's why I'm going to keep saying it to you. Okay, first thing I'm going to ask you guys to do today is finish up 132. So that was the circuit from last class on tangent line equations. So because I had you study for a mini quiz, I didn't tell you you had to do it for homework. So that's why I'm giving you more class time. But that will be due first thing on Wednesday. So you need to finish that up and turn it in. And of course, if you need any help on it, this will be your chance. I want you to work through today's handout, which is 134. And then you should study for the mini quiz. Now, today's handout, I want to talk about it for just a second because I'm going to give you a few more of these document types. And what I'm trying to do here, what I'm aiming for, is I'm trying to give you very specific things to study that I could bet money on being on the AP exam. Just from all the mock exams I've seen, all the release questions that I've seen, all the practice that I've seen, I have a pretty good idea of what type of questions get asked every single year and whether they show up on multiple choice or whether they show up on FRQ. So, my thought, and I can't find mine. Okay, so I'm gonna have to just go off of memory. But my thought behind that is just kind of pretending that you're hitting a reset button. If you were to take the AP exam and get 0 points, which wouldn't be possible because you could at least guess the multiple choice, this handout that you guys got today should guarantee you at least 10 points on the AP exam. So it shows you one of them, like, okay, so using the limit definition of a derivative. I tell you that it will be one multiple choice question, so I know that's not the biggest thing ever, but a multiple choice question that's guaranteed to be on your exam is 1.2 points. Below that, I tell you where we talked about this in your binder, so you can see some examples. I linked Khan Academy if you want to just practice it a bunch of times so you feel comfortable with what type of question that is and feel comfortable that you can do it correctly on a regular basis. And I told you if it was in the mock exam, where it was in the mock exam. So that's one more time. I'm trying to convince you that it is on the AP exams, and I'm trying to show you that maybe you should go back and try that mock exam question again after you look at that. So what I'd like you to do when you get to this part of today's agenda is read through that stuff, maybe practice it a few times, maybe look at it in your binder, and if you're sure that you're ready to go for that skill on the AP exam, that blank, you can just put a check mark. If you're sure, 100% sure, you know how to do that, and you're gonna know how to do that in a couple weeks, check it off and say that you're done with it. Then a different skill, integrating a derivative, is gonna be at least one multiple choice question. Extreme value theorem, it's gonna be at least a multiple choice question, and it's gonna be on justification of an FRQ in the form of a candidate's test. Showed you where it is in the mock exam, where you could practice more of those questions, and some other places where you could see it was actually asked. So again, I'm going to try to come up with about 4 or 5 of these type of handouts for you between now and the AP exam, so you just need to try to keep up with them. If you can make sure that you check these skills off, and you know that you've got 10 points out of this handout, and then you can do that with part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, you should be going into the AP exam knowing that you've got 40, 50 points under your belt, which would guarantee you that you will pass. And of course, that just is gonna increase your chances of passing a whole lot, and it's gonna just make you feel a whole lot less stressed. So again, try not to fall behind on those. Obviously, you just have to have it all together by the AP exam, but do your best in class to actually go through those question types. Make sure you know what they're talking about, and make sure that you know the skills behind those. Okay, I think that's it. So finish the circuit from last time, 132. Read through those 5 question types I have on 134. Any of those that you are not ready to go for, you've got some class time to do that. And then finally, make sure that you're ready for Wednesday's mini quiz, which is this front and back of the second page of 131. Today's was the front and back at first page. Yeah.
Are we gonna have a mini quiz on Friday?
Wow. Why would we not?
I just wondered.
Last day of school though, Mr. Bell.
It's not the last day of school.
Well, for me. Mr. Townsend, will you sign my yearbook?
Not right now. Okay, everybody okay with what the plan is today?
Oh, will you sign?
Okay, thank you.
I have a question about corrections. Do I need the parentheses right here since there's already the brackets?
You shouldn't need them, but I think it'll count it fine either way.
Okay. Okay.
It's usually pretty smart about knowing if it's equivalent.
Okay, good.
Okay, I'm gonna come around and make sure that you all know something to be working on and offer some math help.
Is this what you're saying?
Yep.
I found my ribbon splitting it up, right?
And then that like yeah. Learn my lesson, I guess. Yeah, I think so.
It looks like X prime, Y prime, yes. Okay, that linear is correct. Okay, now you start to solve this for Y prime, and that's not wrong. But you could just plug in 1, 1. Everywhere there's an X plug in a 1, everywhere there's a Y plug in a 1, and then solve for Y prime. I think that'll be a little bit easier. So just avoid actually doing unless it's algebra.
Yeah, if you're just gonna plug in the 0.11 at the end anyway, you might as well plug it in as soon as you need it.
If it is, then all right.
What about this? Today's schedule.
Do you need a call? My godmother bought it, and I don't like it, but I appreciate it. Whoa. All right.
Okay. What about the 134?
How long did you stay at the
Why don't you do that up?
I'm just gonna do my corrections.
Oh, well, yeah, if you're not done out chances.
But I did you schedule yourself? Like, it just puts you on.
Still? Because it's in the
And I frequent work. So I was too, like, I thought, I was helpful, and I was like, I don't know if I'm getting too much right.
Well, yeah, it's just like I was doing blind. And that's what I actually had one of those, I would have gotten like almost every question. So yeah, it's like I guess I knew what I was doing, and it didn't think I mostly knew what I was doing. It's just you 3 questions.
I'm gonna sign my yearbook.
It's gonna take a while, but yeah, but I'm gonna try to get as high as possible. So if I get like, even if I get like a 9 out of 10, I might try it just one more time. Just didn't get that last question. Okay.
I think I got this one right on the date.
Well,
Forget how to do all of it. So. Any first slow down. Is that raising the power or lowering the power? Okay, so 3x squared. Notes on 27.
oh yeah, on ones like this, there's technically like, there's not a top or a bottom. How do you do that? Oh, these, I like remember how to do it when there's like a top or a bottom and a like, or a left and a right. This is just like a top and a side. Is it top and a bottom? Okay, this just counts as a bottom.
Yeah, well, look at this afterwards. It's from 0 to 1.
Yeah,
But if it was just the top, then you have this like little area here too. So then this line comes on the bottom. It's like removing that.
Okay, yeah.
You're gonna have to wait. I'm helping somebody else right now.
So yeah, you would just do the top one, the integral of the top.
By the way, seniors don't have a final here, right?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Unless you want one.
Oh, that's true.
So you'd have to do. You'd have to do this. And then this little slip.
I'm waiting until like tomorrow so I can like ask.
I know, but I could have gotten them all.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm like kind of lost.
Maybe you have to do it on Y.
Well, if you do it on Y, you're just turning the sideways, so it doesn't really fix the problem.
So wait, are you like
Oh, I just made it.
No, I already did. That was my first answer. Is your computer not working? No, but 23%.
There's a separate. Oh, are you talking about? Look at the newest one. Do you see a friend structure? You can open up that website and it says like
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like,
You're gonna be able to count forward by the time you're doing software.
well, I could get just the area because of the bigger thing, and I'm trying to figure. That would be tough.
What's going on?
well, what you can do, I guess, is.
Have we figured it out?
You could do this. So
No,
the area
not
of
yet.
this.
Are we sure it's incorrect?
Yes.
And then you just
Why wouldn't
do
it
it
be?
again, but then you subtract the
Because
outside area.
I triple checked it and I thought it was right.
Yeah, I think that's the
You have to be middle of this line minus this outside area. So then you go to this again. If you subtract it from the outside area.
It's number 3?
Yeah, no, number 4.
Oh, it's number 4. Okay, well, not that that changes much.
Probably.
Well, this one. You just pull that out of your book. Oh, oh.
Did anyone else have the same question as me?
Well, I can only see the response, so I'm trying to guesstimate somebody that,
Oh, is that one right there? Oh wait, I should.
well, it might not, no, you can look, it's,
Oh no, it's not it.
These are the people that got it right. But they might have had a different question.
None of the answers even look anything like mine. Great. Why doesn't it show you what's wrong?
Huh?
Why doesn't it show you what's wrong?
Well, it changes stuff. Like, that question for you wasn't the same as Elisa's number 4.
Yeah.
It was the same skill, but not the same
Same
question.
number.
So
Yeah.
if there's 20 versions of this question times 10, that's 200 questions. They're not
Yeah,
gonna
see, I don't.
summarize them.
It's like, I kind of don't.
I'm volunteering with you. This said, I put 32/3, which my first answer on this was fractions. That was my very first answer, which is 10.667. It's counting me wrong because I didn't put 10.667, but it doesn't say.
Round your
Oh.
answer.
But it's right.
You
It's
didn't-
right.
But you didn't follow
Oh my god,
directions.
it's right. No.
Should I try? Do you think it's the square root of 2? If it did that to her, then square root of 2 might be wrong.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking typing that in as a decimal, but that's if it doesn't.
If necessary,
If necessary.
but that's not necessary.
I don't know. Skip it for right now. Let me keep looking. I just don't want you to be waiting on me. I'm gonna keep looking here until I find one. But
Okay, that seems like it should be an easy one.
Oh, Mr. Thompson, my grade, book isn't working. What's my grade in here?
come see me during advisory. I'm not looking it up right now.
Okay. Last time I checked, it was 61.77.
What you need to worry about is this test.
Do what?
So what you need to worry about is getting this test in.
Oh, yeah, my computer's
I just want to like close my eyes. 18. I didn't get decimal answers. Just take this right. I don't know. Can someone look? If you have 2 tries, you have 2 tries. I gotta be like. Should I try 18.000? Let's just do like 15 if necessary. Wait, why would you lose count?
Addison,
Yes. Did you figure it out? Was it the limit?
okay, so here's what you did,
Right.
A plus from A plus.
and this is what you're supposed to get.
Or, well, I guess I did that.
So I was supposed to do that.
Yeah, but they weren't clear.
And that's what's wrong with it?
Well, that's why they counted it wrong, but I can change it
Thank you.
because that was the same. They should have said that you had to round, and they didn't.
Hitting y'all against each other.
Okay, what was your question?
I think I may have solved it.
You got one update, 5 or 4.
I can't take your phone and see if it's something in the letter, and then you really don't. You think you got it until we send it?
I think I got it.
Call me back if you need to. Okay, math help. Gotta be done later. You got too much to do. Okay, but have you looked at the handout and stuff? The corrections you have like most of
I would rather get them done sooner rather than.
Okay, well, when this starts piling up.
Well, because both of them are 10 The corrections and this. Yeah. They're the whole, I technically don't need to do those before they use that because it's just like stuff.
Well, besides spinach, so I just.
I will try.
Parents put in.
Well, I just meant all of them.
MC.
Is this a grade computer?
Under or over approximation. From back from question 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was concave up, which means that your thing would be an underestimation.
And then for the over, you just gotta draw like concave down graph, right?
Yeah, well, if you just think about like what they look like. If this is concave up,
Yeah.
here's maybe what the tangent line looks like. And the tangent line approximation is under where the real point is.
Oh, got it.
Where if it's concave down, the tangent line approximation is above. So that's all you gotta really consider.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
I don't know exactly what this question is asking me.
That's explaining to you how you know if it's an under or over estimate. And then I want you to go back to question 6 to answer if it was an under or over estimate.
But what is it trying to make me find the over underestimate of?
Question number 6. Now, go
Like
back
for
to
this part.
This is explaining it to you. How do you know if it's an under or over?
Read through the whole thing. And then if there's something you don't understand.
I figured out something that I gotta
Oh, have your mac and cheese? Do you have your cooking turkey? Oh, yeah. Do you have Mr. Johnson? Mr. Johnson? She left to go change her computer charger, but she was like distracted, so she forgot to tell me.
Okay.
Just want to make sure you don't get her in trouble, because like if I did that, you'd be like, oh, we're good.
I mean, she can still be in trouble. You don't get to just go and do things as you want. But thank you. Worry about yourself though.
Okay, well, I am, like, that's why
Okay.
she's doing it, she's getting,
I don't know how to find slope because I'm getting like mixed up here.
Slope is gonna come from plugging the x value into the derivative. So you need to take the derivative of that.
Yeah, isn't that the derivative?
Bring the power down, lower the power by 1. Okay, that looks good.
So it really
Not
is
this
just
part though. I don't know what this is.
Oh, I just thought I could simplify it and I can't. So that's just some weird scratching chicken scratch.
Okay, so if you plug in 0 into that,
How do we get the 0 though, right?
okay.
Oh.
I think that's what I got. Sounds right.
Oh, you know what? I'm being stupid. Holy cow.
So I have a question.
Okay, what you got?
So I know how to do this.
You can, but I can't help you with this, so I don't know what you're about to ask. But
Oh, I'm asking about like a different question that is just like, I know how to do this because it gives me a number, -4, but in cases where it's bounded by the x-axis, what do I do?
Well, that's the same as y equals 0.
Right,
This is like y equals -4.
right,
So if it's the x-axis, it's y equals 0, and then you can do the same thing.
but there's no like area under the curve of y equals 0.
Well, it would be have to trap to some other function. This isn't just one function, this is multiple functions.
Right.
So there wouldn't be one that just says x-axis only. That doesn't make sense. It would have to give you multiple functions.
And like the problems that I was having trouble with, they were like 2 functions and then bounded by the x-axis as well.
Okay?
So I would do left and right, but there's like nothing I can do about the x-axis. So that was kind of confusing.
You don't need the x-axis if you're doing right and left.
Because would it be necessary to like do it in terms of y? In that case?
If you're doing right and left, yes.
So I always have to do in terms of y when it's right and left.
Yes.
No, I'm not subtracting anything.
It's top and bottom for x.
And also, do you have like a sheet of paper somewhere?
Yeah, I've got paper over there. Blank and line paper.
For there was an equation, and it was
I can't help you with that. I can't do it for you.
no. This was like a while ago.
Is it related to this?
No, it's not the same type of question.
Okay, then let's not worry about it right now. You've got enough other stuff to do.
he was like, that's it, that's where you stand.
Okay guys, the question is do I have to put, do I need to put like, pi squared? No, right? Pi squared? No, like no e squared, I don't gotta do this one, right? Okay, well I got 2.601. Should we try that? Yeah. Okay. 2.6.
How many points is this word?
30?
Spencer.
How many points is this test worth?
30 points. 30 major points.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. If it's not right, I need some of the help. So it's not right, it's bad.
Put this 6 out of 2, 6 times 3,
19.
And, no.
There.
Wait, no, I don't know what I did wrong either, because like what did it possibly do?
Wait, are you sitting?
Okay, wait.
We gotta get some help from
Sure.
the
It's the same as all of this. If you're using a tangent line to approximate something, it's called linear approximation or linearization, just different words for it. So, like right here, it told you to approximate, it just didn't call it linearization, but it's the same thing.
Why did it do that?
I can't just answer.
Maybe we'll use calculus. I'm sorry, when will I use this?
Correction. Initially, it's supposed to.
Earl, you don't have your scratch work for your quiz?
No,
You don't have it at home or anything?
I have it at home.
Okay.
You
Did you?
said
Okay.
earlier that I could send you a.
Gotcha, okay. I can remember who I sent it to. And Marissa didn't.
It said something about that, so I should probably just use it.
Yeah. You could do both of those.
Yeah, so there's usually something negative that.
After like this.
I just don't know if I can do that.
Math stuff I can help with, that's not the Delta math.
Can I ask a question about stuff? Not the stuff on math.
Okay.
It's like, it's not, so I like, just one more time to get together. Just three of them. Or do you have
But it's under the.
To be honest with you.
I think.
Thank you. I don't really need it anymore. I found out I could do it on my phone. So I didn't
I'll be Delta math.
Thank you. Well, like you probably still need it though, right? Because it was broken.
Yeah.
That's okay. I just gave you the gumption to get
They
it.
let you keep answering that.
Good catch.
Okay.
Was you just like,
Well, no, like question one might be like a topic, but like I love the one question, like.
Wait, so I still put this
Yeah, the second question might be the same topic, but like, oh, tricky.
Do I still put this in?
Oh, okay, you're so smart. Whoa.
Math stuff.
Yeah, but it's below that.
No, I was just trying to look at
This one, sure. That one's
Y'all didn't do a picture every year? That's cool. I wish it was like a bigger picture though. She can't really see it. Depends on the formula. Math stuff I can help with.
It does show, I don't know if they showed it on the original, but this one does show videos.
Well, that's what.
Enough for you to stay in there.
Show example of mark you wrong immediately. Click on it.
Well, I think that's just Khan County, just show you what to do. That's the thing,
Physics.
watch videos, it's gonna do it, question like that. And I don't know what that was okay. It might show you what worked out. Yeah, as you guys are doing these corrections, you need to note that there is a box in the top right that says like watch video and show examples. I don't remember what the show examples is, but the watch video, they go over that question type in a video. Not the question you're doing obviously, but a question like that. So if you don't know how to start or you're not sure if you're on the right track, you might watch the video that corresponds to that question.
Okay, is this right so far? I completely forgot how to do this kind of stuff.
I can't do the double count for you.
Yeah, but you can like,
No, I can't
through
do
it halfway.
Okay, has anybody got math questions I can help with? Okay, I'm gonna start to grade these homeworks and get them back to you.
And then micros
So like I'm trying to do calculations. See radians with this. Well, let's make sure we can get it off before we write on this window.
What homework? Like,
The stuff that I asked you to turn in at the start of class. If you didn't already turn them in.
You know, I want to make sure that you keep up with your
Okay, this is it's all right except the answer's wrong because the limit they didn't round, and I rounded to 3 decimal places, but it doesn't say not to do that. So how am I supposed to know? Because the last one I did, it was 3 decimal places. I was right.
Where does it show your answer and your answer?
The answer, my answer.
Yeah.
What?
Where's your work?
Well, there's my answer.
Okay.
It's all on this calculator.
Those answers wouldn't be that far off if it was just the rounding.
So then something's wrong.
Yeah, something's gotta be wrong.
But then how are you supposed
Like,
to
it would be
know to
pretty
round
close.
to the limit? Or to not round, or whatever?
I would not round unless it says to.
Okay.
But that's not, yeah. If it was just a rounding error, your answer would be still pretty close to that.
Okay.
No, I think I was just sleeping, because I went home and I was like, but I had I don't think that
Thank you.
People are gonna step on your jacket over there.
Let me do it.
I think it's just undo this. It's like undoing the natural law and you do the same thing on the other side. Yeah, that's like cross anchor with it. So it's just when you get over that. We can't just like do this step by step. Also, I do that.
Just do this.
Who do you look like? You look like an actor. Trust me.
The haircut, like the innocent. Wait, actually, no. Do I really do it? It is definitely a show. Same stuff.
It's the same as a whole. So factor the numerator, subtraction the denominator, find the numbers that make the numerator 0, find the numbers that make the denominator 0.
numbers that make both the numerator and denominator zero, these whole tails are good for visible distance.
Many times. Going to it for this.
I've got paper over there, so you don't have to write on it. So basically, any number that gives you 0 over 0 is gonna be a root. No, you gotta work it out.
Oh. 0 to 2. And then. Is that raising power? 2x turns to 4x squared.
Yeah, I I was like, it just, I don't know why, like, dehydrated or whatever, but I was terrible after I drunk.
Oh, what did you What did Trench say?
Hey.
Yeah, what did you say? Oh, it was because I said your
So this should be minus 16 and plus 8.
I told you you shouldn't die, that's why.
It's just a so. The answer is 4. Good job. 0 to -2.
Right there. To the power block.
Can I do it in my head? You're just struggling. Yeah, no, that's the thing, is like, I try to do stuff in my head, but it just like, my brain just hurts from thinking like that. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's certain things that I can't do in my head, but then other things, like, I can do it, it just takes me back. And then some things I can't do in my head.
Oh.
All the things are square.
Do that with 5.
I get it.
And a wash.
0 to
I feel like none of this generation are so okay, so show them again. Let's
-8. No, it just is true. Not necessarily.
So 0.
1 is the whole, that's the removable. Jump would have to be, this wouldn't have any jumps, this one at all. This makes this be 0, which makes the whole numerator equal 0, which makes the whole fraction equal 0. So that would be an x-intercept, but it has nothing to do with discontinuity. Discontinuity occurs when you have a break in the graph. You're going to have breaks in the graph when you try to divide by 0. Your numerator can be 0, that's fine. 0 divided by any other number is going to be 0, that's not an issue. It's only...
Oh, we did have to.
Correct.
The total value.
So, this this would be an asymptote, so this would be an infinite discontinuity, and this is a hole, so that's removed with discontinuity.
As you can see, for this one, what would the radius be? Would it be?
That's what you gotta figure out.
Above the y-axis. I don't, it's, is it this
I wouldn't
plus
mind this.
4?
It was only.
I don't understand.
I don't think I can answer that. I can't tell you what to do.
Well, like, my non-AP classes and still doing this.
There's some other papers.
This one's missing some work.
Oh, yeah.
I tried to mark on there where I was looking for stuff. My 8A class took this mini quiz already, so I can pass back the one y'all did today. So y'all can see which ones you missed.
Is that where it says only one date up there?
Oh my god.
One day.
Or like the April 29th, you know, how you usually have like April 29th and something else.
Well, their information was slightly different. Their Delta Math was due, their Delta Math was due tomorrow, but I saw them on Friday. They're doing the same lesson that they did on Friday, but their Delta Math was due Tuesday, not Friday. So I didn't want to say the same stuff about Delta Math. That's why it's not 2 days.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I'm actually excited for that.
That's the part I would. Skip like 4 days of school.
Because some of my classes, like a lot of my classes, when I won't be doing it, so it's just like I'm skipping and I'm not probably not even imagining anything.
Because after it, I looked at it, I knew because after I went and looked at it and
There were also 0, 4, and that was my first.
So funny.
I would say. Alright, so this is in the calculator section. What I would maybe do is graph the acceleration calculator. Try that and see if that helps. I can come back.
Sure. Oh,
And then is there a card? Do you have this? Yeah, I have it.
I would say
Wait, no, are you serious? think was so funny. That's so funny. That's alarming.
That's so funny.
I asked about Brenda last week. She gave me I didn't know how to do it. She's not And I started closing out. I don't even open my
I know, that's what I thought you were getting at. Like, that's what I thought you meant by resistance.
Can you sign my yearbook now, Mr. Johnson?
No, or no.
At any point? Friday?
When you're caught up on your stuff, why not Thursday, Wednesday?
Mr. Johnson, I have a Z for the bottom stand at Marquise. Is there a reason for that? I scored them in
Let me check.
everything.
I have 15
Guess who I saw at prom, Mr. Johnson? Dylan.
Wow.
Yeah. Same party.
FRQ, third period.
And I have all the work also.
Only 32? Only 32 points?
I mean, only. I think I made up for it on the hurt.
I was kidding, that's pretty good. Okay, I got it fixed. I don't know, it just didn't show at the time. Maybe you didn't score it at the time when I was looking at it.
Oh yeah, I definitely scored it after school.
Okay.
I almost lost your matchup. Oh, I was so close. That's so close. There's gotta be physics to this.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Well, you get some chance to, you have to get
It is a 5.
Did y'all work through the 10-point closer thing? How do you feel about those?
they're not pretty bad. I felt like there's like video.
But you'll be able to do all but it.
I knew.
I don't like giving absolute answers.
I knew most of it, and after I do this,
I'm gonna try to give you 3 or 4 more. We'll try to finish that up.
okay, just keep reviewing as I get more.
I can give you all 4 or 5 at once, and you're not gonna be overwhelmed, which is what you do if you just wait for them. Try to see, at least see where you stand on them, and try to start relearning a little bit of.
I just want to attempt to ask. Then we like
Did you look at the examples and
I'll probably go to your bed at like 6 a.m.
My favorite teacher was Miss
it's gotta be something that, if you wanna show me from the original test, the same type of question that you did versus what it's supposed to be, I can maybe go to more, I can't help you with the action.
I'm not even doing
Well, mine's to the point where it's like,
Y'all work
if
through,
I unclick, like my fingers just fall off.
Yeah. That's the same.
how many did you remember how to do? Out of the like 5 things. Not the,
I don't have this answer. Oh, 134 is now.
I'm sorry, yeah, 134, I'm sorry. Okay, so you just started doing that.
Well, at least you're getting paid for it. That's the outcome.
Actually, that's my thing is, I'm kind of actually excited about next year because I have some set plans. So I'm just being working or hanging out.
locking in.
I'm taking.
What are you gonna do in the future?
This is crazy. It's like,
What are you taking?
This method is okay. I think it's good. We haven't
But have you looked through the 134 handout?
It might be cool.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I'm going to. I'm going to AP Cal BC and then AP August. I'm doing my other periods. I think are going to
I'll
be.
review it when I look at something and don't pass and like you're right. Wait, let me see that.
This is only trying to get you stuff. 10 guaranteed points.
A lot.
The AP exam is 108. Right, so you get 10 points from this today, and then the next one I give you on Wednesday will be another 10 points. And I give you another one on Wednesday, will have another 10 points.
Yeah, I'm
So you're doing those, then you're guaranteed to pass.
No, it's
But if you keep waiting, you're gonna end up with all those tonight.
It doesn't really like
yeah.
It's one of 5 questions. And it's like, so, I don't know if that really.
I'm in accounts.
just texted her.
I have one
It takes a lot of time to do that. I can just tell you all the study everything.
What do you waffle?
It's.
Velocity had a specific
And they give it away.
instantaneous rate. Instantaneous velocity. This guy tells you the velocity is.
They're not.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's
Start time and end time. Not very
honestly, a lot of the I guess a lot of the classes don't even relate to what I can buy. So I think originally, but originally I was gonna be trying to do engineering, so that I like took like math and like science only classes, but I mean, I guess I'm usually doing these electives, like classes and stuff like that. It's not total. That's true, actually.
It's about how I wear it.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean much to me without working it out. I've worked on it.
Yeah, that's good right there.
It makes you smarter.
Sure, with regular school.
Okay, I'm on. So, the only reason I want this one is because this is the only thing I want. For my balance, I put 0.973, and the right now is supposed to be rounded. But they didn't round it for, this is a girl that,
Down here at the bottom. And you're telling me what to do.
I don't know why I thought about it.
but for the top one,
This is what you want. A lot of us put you out and we did 0.973.
right, that's what I wanted.
I can't even wait until I get to
This is in terms of X and this is in terms of Y. So these would be X values and those would be Y values. You shouldn't be measuring this anyway. Shouldn't round anyway. I'm saying that's not what the problem is. You're asking why this one's probably a nice hole under there. Like, you probably didn't need to be rounded, it would be like this. And this one, I wouldn't round it unless you said to. I would do whatever they want, third or degree or whatever. They're still, but I'm like,
What do you think? You can't let us see.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Yeah, I recognize the style of animation.
I think you like to keep it. Really? Yeah. I'll do this next time. I don't want to rush it. You don't want to. Okay, guys, I need to give you one announcement about Wednesday. It'll be a little bit different. I will be here on Wednesday, but I will not be in here. I tried to get out of it, but we are interviewing for new math teachers, and I have to be a part of that. So I will leave behind something similar as we did today, where it gives you some assistance on how to move forward and all that. But just so you guys know, I'm not skipping out on you, and I would be here if I could, but I will be on campus, but just not in here. So again, I will take that into mind on the assignment that I'll leave for you. So.
Are you going to be here in the advisory that day? Okay.
That's why in prime time I said that there will be a sub, and it's just for sleeping or working. So.